Okay, everybody, I want to welcome you to our webinar tonight, our conference call. For those of you who are on, this is our Monday night training for Unicity International, and I'm so excited. This is T. Gray, Presidential Diamond, and I get a chance to share with you a topic that is near and dear to my heart, especially this time of the year, as we start to look toward the future. And that future, of course, is 2015. And as you can see from your screen, we're going to go through a 2015 goal-setting workshop. Here we are, folks. We're wrapping up. We're December. We're getting ready to close in on 2015. The new year is coming up fast approaching, and it's time for us to think ahead. And you know what? As a matter of fact, it's time for us to even think back. You know, when you think about the plan that you put together for 2014, how much of that did you accomplish? Did you even have a plan for 2014? And so I want to share with you an exercise that has really been beneficial and a blessing in my life, and that is goal setting and putting together a plan. Because certainly if you don't have a plan, you can't succeed, and you know, you definitely have no chance of succeeding. So why build a game plan? Setting goals gives your life direction. It boosts your motivation. It gives you self-confidence. You know that every day you're doing things that are bringing you closer and closer to your goals. It keeps you from being a wandering generality, like Jim Rohn says. It allows you to be a meaningful specific. I came across this quote while preparing for this training. It says, a dream that's written down becomes a goal. A goal that's broken down into steps becomes a plan. And a plan that's backed by action actually makes your dreams come true. And that's really what we want to do. We want to be able to make our dreams a reality, and that's what Unicity is all about. So what I want to do tonight is I want to share with you how I've been taught to do goal setting and game planning. It has been very, very effective in my life. I've had some incredible mentors who have achieved lots of success in their own lives doing it this way, and so I want to pass it on to you tonight as it's my turn to do the Unicity training. The first thing I want to let you know is that I use a couple of different methods to putting together my game plan. The first is called the RPM method, and it's RPM stands for Results-Focused, Purpose-Driven, Massive Action Plan, right? So it's all about the results tied into your person and the action that's going to be necessary in order to achieve the plan. The second method that I use is the SMART method. And SMART, S-M-A-R-T, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-targeted. This is a formula for putting together goals that will be meaningful and that you actually can achieve versus end up being frustrated by. You know, like just kind of one at a time here. Specific, right? Measurable, things that you can actually achieve, realistic, and that they have a timetable associated with them. So these are some of the questions that I ask myself, and that you're going to want to ask yourself too. What is it that you want? What is your outcome? What is your result? So as you start thinking about 2015, when you come to the end of 2015, what is it that you will have wanted to achieve? What are the outcomes that you're looking for? What are the results that you want? You know, second set of questions. What's my big why? You know, what's that thing that's going to drive me to get out of bed and to work on this even when, you know, I don't want to, even when I don't feel like it? You know, what's my purpose? You know, why am I here? Why is it that I really want to do this? And what do I need to do in order to achieve it? These are some very important things that you are going to want to answer in the context of the plan. I've seen lots of plans where it's kind of a paragraph or some abstract thoughts, and you know, those kind of plans go nowhere. Of course, it's better than absolutely nothing, but it's still pretty close to nothing. So we're gonna work through some details. By the time we're done today, you'll have the framework to get your 2015 plan put together. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about how to do this plan. Now, one more thing though, in the process of doing the plan, you're going to come up with lots of stuff. You're going to come up with all these different things that you could do. And what I want to just challenge you on is we're going to identify the things that are absolute must, because you're not going to be able to do everything. So we're going to identify the things that are must. The 20% that makes 80% of the difference, we're going to access those, and those are the things that we're going to focus on. So I want you to just set yourself free from all the other stuff that's going to cause you frustration. That way, at the end of the year, you can actually feel like you have really accomplished something meaningful over the next 12 months. Okay, so let's dig in. What is the first part of the game plan? Well, the first part of the game plan is this overview section, okay? The overview section of the game plan. And in the overview section of the game plan, this is where we kind of tie into what's important, right? I mean, the kind of questions we want to ask ourselves in the overview section of the plan is, who am I? Right? What an interesting question to start with. You know, as you go into the new year, this is a great time to get reflective and just get centered on, you know, who you are, you know, what is your purpose? What are you here for? What's important to you, right? And who is important to you? You know, when I think about my particular overview section and these questions, you know, I know that I am meant to be, you know, I'm meant to create generational wealth. I am meant to end the history of poverty and underachievement that's marked my family, and to be the person that turns it all around and create generational wealth. You know, I'm the person in my family that is destined to change what it means to be a Gray. Now, I don't know who you are in your family, but if you're the person in your family who is destined to change what it means to be an Art, what it means to be a Richards, a Brian, a Davis, a Kaufman, a Neal, and everybody else who's on here, a Ferguson, a Thompson, maybe you're the person who's destined to change what it means to be a Marsh or a Samuel or a Newell or a Rowe. If you're the person in your family that's destined to change what it means to be that, to take the family to a whole nother level, you want to write that in the overview section of your plan, okay? Now, I know something else about myself. I'm not only destined to create incredible results, but I'm destined to create that. It's part of my purpose to create that in a way where I take other people with me, right? I'm not meant to be a solo performer. That's why I'm not the genius software creator or something like that, or you know, or a composer, musician, or a tennis player. I am meant to do it in such a way where I get to bring other people with me, and that's why, you know, my blessing, my gift throughout my career has been team building. So, you know, think about yourself. Where are your strengths? Right? Go ahead and just take inventory, personal, soulful inventory in this overview section, and write that down. It's a great place to start, and I'll tell you what it does for me. What it does for me is it helps me stay grounded. You know, so when everything starts to get crazy, right, because you start your plan and then you get underway and then stuff just starts to happen. Good stuff, bad stuff, in-between stuff, new stuff, old stuff. And so when it all starts to get crazy, I don't lose my way. You know, this is what helps me to filter what's an opportunity and what's a distraction. Who's a partner and, you know, who's a roadblock. You know, and if they don't match up with this overview section, you know, then I can throw it away. I can discard it. I can disregard it. This grounding exercise, it helps to keep me focused, and it'll help keep you focused as well by identifying what are the things that are important. All right, let's go to section number 2. Part 2 of the plan is to now start to set goals by major life categories. Now, before we actually go into the categories, a couple of things. The first thing you want to remember is this. If you want to be as specific as possible, remember the SMART method? The S stands for what? Specific. The M stands for what? Measurable, right? And so if you put down things that are vague or things that are general, it doesn't trigger your psyche. It doesn't trigger your subconscious. It doesn't trigger any action. You know, the only reason that people put down vague or general goals is they're being non-committal. They're afraid to commit. You know, they're afraid of of losing. They might even be afraid of winning, but they're afraid. And that's fear is what keeps you in this place where your goals that you put down are going to be vague or general, right? What's a vague goal? What's a general goal? I'm going to make a lot of money. That is vague. That is general. I challenge you, go pull out your calculator and find the button on there that says a lot. It doesn't exist. It's not there. It asks you for, all the buttons ask for something very specific, right? How about this? This is a goal. I'm going to achieve a new rank. I'm going to advance some ranks in 2015. Well, again, vague, general, non-committal. And so I challenge you to be as specific as you possibly can be. And anytime you catch yourself being vague or general, challenge yourself. Ask yourself, why am I afraid to be specific and to commit myself to something? Okay? But that said, here's some words of caution. Don't overreach when it comes to setting goals, right? Because if you set these goals so big that your subconscious says, absolutely no way, then here's what happens. You'll either be frustrated or inactive, right? Because if your subconscious just can't believe that it's even in the realm of possibility, here's what's going to happen. You're going to shut down. You're not going to do it. Everything that you do is going to underachieve the goal, so you're going to be really frustrated, okay? And so as a protection mechanism, you just won't even do anything. It's funny because, sometimes we say, aim for the stars and you might hit the moon, right? Well, here's the reality. I mean, as a coach, I've done that in terms of setting goals for myself and setting goals for other people. And you think, okay, if I set their goal up this high, then, maybe, in the process of shooting for it, they'll get here, and here is good too. Well, what I found more often than not is that what people do when you set the goal this high, if they believe that that's too high, they just don't do anything. They don't hit here. They just don't even try. And why is that? Because their subconscious says, not possible, not even going to try because we're just going to be frustrated. So I challenge you to also set your goals in the realm of reality. These goals should be challenging. You don't want to sandbag yourself. You don't want to, play it safe because that's not exciting. There's no reward in achieving a goal that you could do in your sleep. But it also should be. It also should not be registering as impossible according to your subconscious. And that's the part that's most important, your subconscious, because one person's impossible is another person's totally possible, right? So this is an individual thing. You've got to test yourself, and this is why you need to do this in a quiet place. You kind of need to get rid of the kids and the spouse and just kind of go quiet. I love to do this on airplanes with, classical music or kind of soothing music playing in my headphones so that, I can just get really focused, and I'm not being disturbed by the phone. I challenge you guys, to create that kind of environment for yourself because that's what's going to help you with this particular exercise. But just remember this, if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you, so don't go too easy on yourself. You want to definitely make sure that as you look toward 2015, you set yourself some goals that stretch you, but not beyond the realm of possibility. Okay, so let's talk about these major life categories. How you guys doing? You keeping up? If you are keeping up, and if this is valuable so far, and you're on the webinar, start sending me some chat messages. Let me know how you guys are doing. Just give me a thumbs up. This is good. Amen. Whatever. And if it's negative, if you don't think so, just don't say anything. Okay, good. All right. So now here we go. First category. First major life category for goal setting, and that is spiritual. Right? Now I know that we've got all sorts of people with all sorts of different religious beliefs on here, and that's totally cool. Not here to advocate any particular faith, because the one thing I know that we all have in common is that it's all supposed to be about love and being good to other people. But at the end of the day, we all have to be spiritually grounded. So in identifying the ways and the areas where you need to grow spiritually, identify that right, very clearly, and make some specific goals as to how you can do that. Now, by the way, as we go through this, you want to not just identify what you need to achieve, but also write down how to do it, right? The steps you're going to take, how are you going to do it? So you kind of write a sentence that says, I need to do X, right, or I need to become more X, and then what you do after that is you write down, here's how I'm going to do it, right? It could be bullet points. You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to read this book, I'm going to watch these videos, I'm going to associate with these people. Write down exactly what you need to do in order to achieve the goal, all right? Second, family and relationships. Now, I put the sentence up here for a reason, because in every one of our families, we have a level of dysfunction, right? We all have our own family stuff, right? And so now is when you get a chance to take ownership for your piece. In 2015, you ask yourself, how can I be a better, I may need to be a better mother, I may need to be a better father, a better wife, a better husband, a better son, daughter, sister, brother, friend, whatever it is, identify what that is, and again, then next, how are you going to do that? For example, there might be one of your children or one or more of your children that you could improve your relationship with. Okay? That's fine. So your goal is, I want to have a closer, better, more fulfilling, enriching relationship with this particular individual. Then underneath that, you start writing down, how can I do that? What do I need to do in order for that to happen? Specific things, measurable things, actionable things that you can do in order to achieve these things. Okay, what's the next category? Well, we're unicity, right? We're all about defining your prime, so you knew this was coming. Health and fitness. And you know what? Even if we weren't in unicity, this is going to be the next thing on the list, health and fitness. Because you know what? This is an area where we are, as a society, are falling down. And believe me, it hurts in so many different areas, right? And, it's an area that personally I've been working on and working to get better on. It's one of my struggle areas, right? So what is it that you specifically want to accomplish in 2015? December 31, 2015, how much will you weigh? What will your sizes be? What will your energy level be? What will your zest for life be? What are the things that you'll be able to do that you couldn't do before, right? And then now you start writing down, after that, how you're going to do it. For example, if you haven't been through the transformation, obviously, boom, solution, no-brainer, do the transformation. But you want to write down when you're going to do the transformation and how you are going to approach the transformation. What kind of transformation student are you going to be, right? If you've done a transformation before and you need to do another one, put that on here. When are you going to do it? How are you going to do it different and better this time? So, again, these are the major life categories. Now, there's some more. The next one is personal. Right? Now, what do we mean by that? How will you grow as a person? Right? This is how I'm going to tie into your personal growth and development. How are you going to grow as a person? How are you going to grow as a professional? Who do you have to become in order to achieve your goals? We've all heard it before. In order to do something that you've never done before, you have to become someone that you have never been before, right? I remember Aaron Weber in his Triple Diamond speech, he said, you have to first become the rank and then you will achieve the rank, right? So who do you have to become? In coaching so many people, lots of different folks and mentoring a few, here's some of the areas that I've noticed that people today especially need to kind of really beef up on. Number one, resourcefulness. Right? What is resourcefulness? Resourcefulness is being a person who figures things out, who can figure things out for themselves, or who, an initiative is tied together, not just waiting for somebody to give them the answer. They're going to find the answer. They're going to make the answer. I think, today's, the fact that we have so much media and television available to us, they can get an entire story across in 30 minutes or 60 minutes. And movies have become so much more high-tech that in the process of these things getting better and the entertainment industry being able to give us more of the story and the solution in more visually impacting ways in shorter periods of time, It's turning off our ability to solve our own problems and supply the visuals. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are resourceful. The question is here, what do you have to learn in order to achieve your goals? In order to become the person who can achieve those goals? What skills do you need to acquire? Where can you find them? And when will you allot time to the finding? I found that Google and YouTube are my best friends because there's nothing in this world that you want to do that you can't learn about on Google and YouTube. Everything is there. I remember I wanted to learn how to make a steak in the oven. Now, I just Googled, how do you make a steak in the oven? I went on YouTube. I said, how do you make a steak in the oven? And I got 12 different videos that showed me how to make a steak in the oven. I remember when we went to Bangkok, I forgot how to tie my bow tie because it had been a year since the last time I tied a bow tie. All I did is go on YouTube. How do you tie a bow tie? And boom, there it is. And so you know what, folks? We want to make sure that we're resourceful people. There's no reason at all not to be getting better every single day. But what you want to do is you want to put this plan together so you know exactly what areas you need to get better at, right? Because we all have our strengths. We all have our areas where we need to get better. And so identify yours and start learning. No, you don't need to learn how to make pizza in a microwave, Onika. No. But Emery, yes, you want to learn how to be more comfortable using technology. All right, so I tell you what, I love you guys. I'm glad for the interaction. That makes this a whole lot of fun. You're right, Kim. With Google, you can make yourself a self-made professional. And Onika says it's too late. She already learned how to make pizza in the microwave. All right, Onika. Some transformation coaches will be calling you at the end of this webinar. All right, here's another very important one. You guys ready for this? What will your social impact be? What will your social impact be? What will your contribution to the world be this year? How will you make a difference in 2015? For me, I'll tell you what I'm going to do in 2015. I've already started the process. I'm really busy. I'm running. I got a bunch of different things cooking. But one of the thing that I'm going to do that is all about social impact and not at all about financial reward for me is I'm developing the entrepreneurship ministry at my church. And what we're going to do is we're putting together, a curriculum where every month, once a month, we're going to have an 1.5 to 3 hour class on a different topic of entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about network marketing. We're going to talk about, owning a brick and mortar business. We're going to talk about setting your business structure up and things like customer service. We're going to bring, they've got some shows on television like Shark Tank and The Profit, and we're going to do, Shark Tank and Shark Tank socials and profit parties where, we'll get people together and we'll serve hors d'oeuvres or whatever. We're going to watch an episode, and then we're going to roundtable it. We're going to talk about what we learned from the episode. And we're going to do that, and that's really just about helping people who kind of look at you across the church and say, wow, I wish I could be successful like you, and now being able to give back and help somebody else. What are you going to do in 2015, right? I'll tell you what, guys, every company, every publicly traded company has a line on their balance sheet for goodwill, right? The things that they do that they're just good things. They put good stuff out there, and, it's in the cast your bread on the waters and see how it comes back category. So this is very important, and if you don't plan for it, guess what? December's going to roll around, and you will have made no impact, right? And this is important not for your bank account. This one's important for your soul, right? Okay, cool. And what are the things that you're going to do that bring you joy, happiness, and satisfaction, right? Let's put that in the plan too, because you know what? All work and no play makes Johnny and Jane dull boys and girls. So you want to make sure that you build into your plan the things that you just love to do. Now, granted, you're going to have to reprioritize. If you're a golfer, you're probably going to have to cut back on how much golf you're playing in order to achieve your goals. But you know what? Plan it in there. Say, hey, you know what? I know I'm going to have to cut back on my golf, but I'm going to play once a month just because it makes me happy. Or you might put yourself on a reward system that says, hey, every month that I grow my volume, I'm going to allow myself to play a round of golf, right? Or maybe you like to go to the movies. You say, hey, you know what, every month or that I grow my volume, or every week that I do X number of presentations, I'll allow myself to go to a movie or watch a movie, right? So build the things that make you happy into your plan so that you can be well-rounded, and now you can achieve your goals, and when you get to the end of the year, you can be really, really happy, okay? Well, we've gone through 4 categories. Anybody want to guess what the next category is? You guessed it. Business, right? Business and finance, right? And this is last for a reason. This is last for a reason. Everything else is going to make this successful. You get your spiritual right, you get your family right, you get yourself right. It's going to all reflect in your business. You know, I'm coaching a group of people every single week, and the reason why I'm investing that energy in them is because you can take 2 people and give them all the Unicity tools, all the Unicity products, all the Unicity training, and still one of them is incredibly successful and one of them just kind of flounders. So what's the difference maker if they have all the same stuff? It's going to be those things, you know, that they've got their spiritual life right, their family right, and their personal growth and development right. And then it all feeds into your business. So as far as your business goals need to be super specific. This is where people really let themselves down, right? And okay, so number 1, how much money will you be making? How much money are you going to make? You know, when I do these goals, I like to do this. I like to say, by the end of, I'm going to make this much money in the first quarter of the year. That's January, February, March. I'm going to make this much in April, May, June. Then this much in July, August, September, and then this much in October, November, December. And then by the end of December, I will be at X dollars per month. Right? That's kind of the way I like to do it. You guys might try to do it that way. How big will your team be? Right? Here's a great way for you to look at it. Why don't you put one of these type of statements in your 2015 Unicity business plan? By December 2015, I will have X number of people on 125-point auto refill every single month. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that's where it's at. That's your residual. You know, how many people will you have on a 125-point auto refill by the end of the month? And I'll tell you why this is so important. I'll tell you why this is so important to do it this way. Because when you set it up front and you say, this is what I'm marching toward, then it's going to dictate your daily activity. Everything you do now is going to be geared toward, getting to 125, getting that X number of people with 125-point auto refill each month. Your conversation as you're recruiting people, as you're training people, everything is going to be about that. Here's another one. How much money will you have saved and put away? I'm going to tell you this, guys. If you don't have a goal, any success you have will be an accident. And all of the folks who are coached by me are going to type this in the thing right now. They already know what I'm about to say. I'll give you a head start. Success is, you guys can't type that fast, right? Success is never by accident. It is always by design. And that is what we're doing right now. We are designing our success. So you have to design your bank account. How much will you have saved and put away? And then again, you're going to need to write down, okay, what do I need to do in order to accomplish that? Where do I need to make some cuts? How much do I need to save each month, et cetera, et cetera. What recognition and rewards will you enjoy in 2015? Be specific. Which ranks will you achieve? What levels of achievement will you achieve? What trips will you qualify for? How about this? What things will you buy? Man, I tell you what, I've never seen so many people afraid of things. Things are okay as long as things don't rule you, as long as things don't dominate you. But it's okay for you to have nice things, right? So what car do you want to drive, right? Will you be able to achieve that in 2015? Maybe, maybe not, right? But, what house do you want to live in? You know, I know women, they love bags, they love shoes. Okay, do you want some of those shoes with the red bottoms on them? You know, do you want to have at least one pair? Is that what you want to buy yourself for Christmas in December of 2015, right? And how will you give? Who will you support? Who will you help? You know, I had this conversation with a group of people on Saturday, as I mentioned, and you know, anybody who's heard my story, you guys know that, you know, we went through a period of time now, it was, about 10 years ago, where we had really hit rock bottom. We'd lost everything, and, you know, one of the most painful memories of that time was the electricity being turned off. 3 times that happened, and each time it was agonizing. And I remember one time sitting at the computer, as we are right now, you know, just kind of working away and hearing the sound of a truck outside and going to the window, and I see it's the electric company van. And literally, just as I started to utter some not too good words, the lights went out, and now all of a sudden, the power's gone. And, you know, thank God we've been able to rebuild and be able to get out of that mode and be able to have, but you know what, now we're able to give back. You know, I have a good friend of mine who, you know, is an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker and that kind of stuff, and I'm really proud of what this particular individual has been able to accomplish. Unfortunately for this person, their father has become very, very ill, and they've had to totally change their activities in order to be there and care for the sick parent, and that's impacted their business. And the big blessing that we've got now is that, you know, we were able to go to that individual and say, hey, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and pay your electricity bill for the next 12 months. Just when you get it, just send it to us. We'll take care of it. That's just going to be one thing you don't have to worry about. How are you going to help other people this year? What are you going to be able to do, right? And you got to go ahead and plan for it so that you can be able to accomplish that mission. Okay, now let's get to an amazing part. So we have identified who we are, what our purpose is. We have now put together a plan for every, you know, we set goals and a specific plan for how to achieve those goals for every major section of our life. We've done it for spiritual, we've done it for family and relationships, we've done it for health and fitness, we've done it for personal, we've also done it for our business and finances. Now let's go for the jugular. You guys ready? This is it. This is the X factor. This is where it comes to life. Visualization, writing, and repetition. See, Stuart Hughes knows exactly what he's talking about with that dream exercise. That is how you take all of this and you give it life, right? This is how you give it life, right? You want to fast forward. You take this plan that you put together with all the things you said you wanted to achieve in 2015. And remember, this is results-oriented, right? It is results-focused. It is purpose-driven, right? And we put together the massive actions that are going to help us get it. And it's smart, right? It's specific. It's measurable. It's achievable. It's realistic. And we put timelines on it, too. But now you want to fast forward to the end of 2015. You want to close your eyes, and you want to visualize what that success is going to feel like in sensory-rich detail, right? And this is not your ultimate success. I'm just talking about your 2015 success. What's that going to feel like in sensory? I want you to put your body in 2015 December and identify what that's going to feel like when you have checked off these things and you've gotten it done. And then I want you to put it together in a format that makes you feel good. I'm not going to dictate the format. Right? Some people like to write in notebooks. Other people like to type and put together type business plans. Whichever one makes you happy. Whichever one floats your boat. Because you know what? That's part of your sensory-rich experience. But either way, I want you to include pictures and images of what your success is going to be like everywhere possible in the plan. Like this training, it's got pictures in it. Right? I want you to do that in your document. If you're writing in the notebook, leave spaces, cut out pictures from magazines, glue them in the notebook, on the cover, on the back, all throughout, so that it stimulates the movie that your subconscious sees it. Because you know what, folks, listen, your subconscious is going to drive you to accomplish whatever it believes is real. And I'll say this again, I've said it before, it's like a thermostat. The thermostat in your house, when it's too hot in your house, your thermostat brings it down to the temperature that you've set. And when it's too cold in your house, your thermostat brings it up to the temperature that you've set. This business plan that you put together for 2015 is the thermostat. You're setting the thermostat for 2015, and every time you look at this, right, which needs to be twice a day, minimum, when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, you know, every time you can do it out loud with passion, you should, because sometimes you may have to do it in quiet. Your partner might be sleeping, that's okay, but you got to take every chance you can to read it out loud with all the passion that you can muster to make the movie real. And it is amazing how your subconscious will drive your daily behavior to push you toward that reality. Because once you make this real in your subconscious, your current reality won't measure up. Your current reality is going to be like being too cold, and your subconscious is going to be trying to heat you up to the temperature that you set, which is hotter than where you are right now. It's really amazing how this works. Things will just start to move for you, and the right people will start to come into your life. The right circumstances will start to come into your life. The right things are going to start to happen. So you got to have a plan. See, the problem with most folks is that they want to succeed by accident. They want it to just happen. They want Oprah to show up and write a check and make it happen. It doesn't work that way. What you get is what you picture. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get what you picture. And this whole game planning thing is basically drawing the picture for 2015. So I want to challenge you guys to take some time. Now that you have a blueprint, I want to challenge you to take some time over the next 24 to 48 hours to put together your plan. Do it this way. It really works. Then get it cleaned up, get it neat, and make sure that you have it where you need to have it. So you read it in the morning, you read it at night, you can read it in the middle of the afternoon, you can read it when your boss pisses you off, you can read it when that person who was supposed to come for your rally doesn't show up. You go back and you read your plan. The more passion, the more energy that you can put into it, the faster and stronger it's going to come true. Last part is this. Keep it real. You know, I don't always achieve 100% of my goals. I'm letting you guys in on a secret. Sometimes a couple of folks thought I was Superman and that everything I set my eyes to, I get it. I've never been able to achieve 100% of my goals. I don't think there's a person on the planet that can achieve 100% of their goals. And I even continue to struggle in some areas that I continue to set goals on. But here's the thing. Every year, I'm able to move the needle significantly. I accomplish some of my goals completely, and I accomplish all of them at least partially. Every year, I'm able to end the year better than where I started the year, closer to my ultimate goal. I may have to adjust some timelines. I may have to adjust some realities. But because I have something that I'm shooting for, I'm never lost. I have direction throughout the year. And I want to challenge you guys to do this because it's going to help you. Ogmandino, he wrote a book, The Greatest Salesperson in the World. And I got to tell you what he says. The victory of success is half won when one gains the habit of setting and achieving goals. Just by doing this, you will automatically be on the 50-yard line of success for 2015. So it's been exciting to share this with you guys. I hope that you will take it seriously. There's two types of people on this webinar and on the phone line. The folks who are going to do it, the folks that ain't. And you know what? Here's the most powerful thing. You get to choose. But at the end of the day, December 2015 will be here. And if you have not moved the needle in a significant way because you didn't put together a plan, you'll only have yourself to blame. That said, I want to wrap up this training with a couple of admonishments. Number one, the month is not over. Christmas, holiday is one day. Champions, don't sacrifice your total Unicity business for December because of Christmas. I challenge you to have a Walmart mentality and accelerate during the holidays to get a ready head start toward January of 2015. Those of you who are saying, I'll just pick it up again in January, I'm going to tell you right now, you can kiss January goodbye. You might get February or March. But the ones who are going to have a big January are the ones who are rocking it right now. So I want to challenge you to close the month strong. I started sending out some text messages. Are you going to at least match your November business? Are you going to grow your business in December over November? Go for it right now. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this. If you have not registered for the Vegas event, I really just don't understand. Right? I can tell you right now, it will be impossible for you to succeed if you have a personal policy of missing events. Right? So I can tell you right now, you got to be there. Go ahead and get registered if you're not registered. Buy your airline ticket if you don't have one. Book your hotel if you haven't done it yet. Find a way. Go sell some balance. Do whatever you got to do. But this event is going to be key toward you achieving the goals that you're going to write down right now. So we had a lot of fun here. Hey, you guys, I don't think I have another training opportunity coming up before the end of the year. So I just want to say to each and every one of you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate, happy that, as well as Happy New Year. I love you guys. You're my Unicity family, upline, downline, sideline, crossline. Each and every one of you is part of my blessing. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I sure as heck ain't giving you back. God bless you guys. This officially ends our call.